Douglas County Pride Fest organizers say they're planning to meet with the sheriff's office next week for a debrief on everything that took place over the weekend. The event was disrupted on Saturday by a group of protesters that attempted to block the view of a drag show.
Well, that was just one of the incidents that organizers ended up dealing with on Saturday. And as 9 News reporter Jaleesa Irizarry explains, Douglas County is now also investigating a possible hate crime.
So much can be said about what happened at the Douglas County Fairgrounds this weekend.
Yes, exactly.
Art Kirkesian only has a few words.
It's just one more day in the life of being a gay man.
Kirkesian is the co-chair of the Douglas County Pride Fest. While Saturday's group of protesters have dominated much of post-Pride coverage, it's one act of vandalism that the Douglas County Sheriff's Office has their eye on.
You know, it's just another sad reminder in your face, the hate that is in some people's hearts.
On Saturday morning, just before Pride Fest, a Douglas County deputy spotted graffiti. Someone spray-painted groomers on fairground property, as well as a few cars.
We've been called groomers all year long by the people who have protested and showed up at the town of Castle Rock. The queer community and the queer youth in this county deserve to feel safe in their homes and in their neighborhoods and on the streets and at schools. And obviously, we're not. And if anybody says why, look at what happened Saturday.
The Douglas County Sheriff's Office says they are investigating the incident as a hate crime. While organizers hope the suspect is found, they're still angry with what happened next. The protesters that arrived hours later, that witnesses say brought some children to tears.
And that is the image that I will use to give me strength to continue to fight the fight for these kids. It's just not fair. It's not fair that they have to put up with this crap.
Earlier today, Able Shepherd, an active shooter response training center, released a statement on their Facebook page stating the company was not involved in the protest that took place on Saturday, but rather the CEO, Jimmy Graham, was in attendance as a community member standing on his First Amendment right. Tom?
Yeah, there's still a lot to sort out from this, but it also continues to seemingly have more tentacles, if you will. More parts of this story are coming out as well.
Yeah, it's one of those that it's not going away, right? Art is really emphasized of how much you could hear in his emotion on that last soundbite is that he is really passionate about the fact of the impact this has made on the community, and he's making sure that some solutions are found.
All right, Jaleesa, thanks.
All of the nation is watching Florida right now as response teams and power crews are working through the damage left behind what was Hurricane Idalia. The storm reached Category 4 status this morning just before making landfall as a strong Category 3. NBC's Jay Gray has much more.
Hurricane Idalia punishing Florida's coast. Sustained winds of 125 miles an hour at landfall, peeling away this gas station canopy. And a storm surge of 10 feet or more, pushing a wall of water into places it's never been before. Idalia speeding up over land, but maintaining its intensity.
The trade-off is we get a little less rain maybe, but still enough rain to cause considerable impacts from flash and urban flooding, especially as we go into tonight and Thursday.
As the system pushes through.
This is an exceptional one, big one.
Residents in Cedar Key get a first-hand look at their soaked and battered town.
It doesn't look good. All of our commercial buildings downtown are underwater. A huge percentage of our homes have been inundated with water. You can see I'm standing in the middle of State Road 24 right now, and it's completely underwater.
Near Tampa, entire communities flooded. Paddleboards now the best way to get around.
Everything's underwater. It's like Venice, Italy.
Task force teams and first responders working through that water and into some of the hardest hit areas.
All 8 urban search and rescue teams are deployed. Our National Guard has folks in places like Taylor County. They're getting on scene there to do things like clear major pieces of the roads and get debris that has been knocked around.
But not knocked out, though in some places it will take months to recover. Jay Gray, NBC News, Gainesville.
Of course, the hurricane season continues here in Colorado, though. Well, things got very warm today. A live look, you can see I-25 working its way slowly north and south, and a lot of blue sky. Temperatures back up into the 90s today.
I know this is when these 90s hit, Kathy, that I think you say, okay, I don't mind it, because after all, I know what's coming in a month.
I know. And in the early morning hours, you can kind of feel just a little hint of fall. Yes, step out in the morning and even in the evening after the sun has set. And there's just that little, just a little shift in the temperature.
Yeah.
Yes. We have also that big, beautiful full moon tonight. So don't forget about that. The full super blue moon tonight, which will be historic and really amazing. And we'll be able to see that with clear skies. But again, Idalia, we're tracking not one, you guys, but two hurricanes. This is Franklin, a big, powerful storm with winds to 105, outer bands hitting Bermuda. This, of course, is Idalia. It's moved onshore. It came in as a Category 3 storm, continues to produce the heavy flooding rain, damaging wind, several 100,000 people without power. So far, 2 people have died as a result of this storm, which continues to create some freshwater flooding from Georgia all the way up through the Carolinas. So a completely different weather story here in Colorado and across the West, with bright blue skies, lots of sunshine, lots of bugs up there in Fort Collins, and a few cumulus clouds. 96 our new high in Denver for today. Record today 98, so not quite there. Very dry. We'll be talking about fire danger again, even with winds light tonight. They'll be increasing out of the south over the next few days, so that's something we'll be talking about. Only isolated storms over the elevated terrain, so all eyes again on the remnants of Idalia, which is now a tropical storm, winds to 70 miles per hour, a lot of water, a lot of energy coming into the Big Bend area, in the Tallahassee and Jacksonville area, still dealing with heavy flooding, rainfall, and really some damaging wind, a lot of thunder, a lot of lightning. This storm, again, now a tropical storm with winds to 70, will continue through Georgia, up through the Carolinas, and then out to sea by the end of the week, and everybody will be ready to say goodbye to that storm. A fast mover, though, you have to admit, considering how slow Ian was. This one in and out, and they like that a lot down in the Gulf Coast region. Mid-90s now. We drop into the low 80s here in Denver by 8 o'clock. Coming up, a warm, dry evening, record highs possible. We're going to talk about that holiday weekend in detail in just a bit.
We turn out, New York police say they've arrested a Denver man, accusing him of damaging pride flags at the Stonewall National Monument in New York City. They say it happened back on June 10th during Pride Month, flags being torn down from the fence and thrown on the sidewalk. NYPD did release surveillance pictures allegedly showing him and 2 other people in the area of the monument on the night of the crime. Investigators say they're looking at 2 other incidents at Stonewall as well. They're investigating them as hate crimes.
There's been a string of car break-ins and car thefts in church parking lots in Jefferson County. In the last 4 months, the Jeffco Sheriff's Office says there have been 16 break-ins at 12 churches, all in similar circumstances. The crimes happen on Sundays between 9 and noon during the services. Some cars were unlocked, keys inside. Others were locked, but they had a broken window or something else. Deputies are reminding people you just got to lock the doors and then keep anything that's valuable out of the car. We have much more on the break-ins and what we know about them coming up on 9 News at 5.
EpiPens, they're a life-saving medication, but the price has become an obstacle for so many families. Well, now the state of Colorado is getting closer to putting a price cap on just how much the drug makers can charge. The EpiPen prices started to rise when Mylan Pharmaceutical raised the prices 400% just between the years 2008 and 2016. If families switched to a high-deductible insurance plan, they were being charged nearly full price for EpiPens, and that could be hundreds and sometimes thousands of dollars spent out of pocket. In this past legislative session, state lawmakers heard from families and advocates, and now they want to put a price cap on the EpiPens come January.
Because typically it wasn't that you just had to have one EpiPen, you had to have multiples. So putting a price cap on this is going to be, I think, a real game changer. It's going to be important to people just because of the need for these, the peace of mind that comes with these, and it's just going to make getting this aspect of healthcare more affordable.
That new law automatically goes into effect in January for those who have insurance that's regulated by the state. Now, if you check your insurance card, it will say CODOI on it. Now, for those without insurance or with insurance that's regulated instead by the federal government, you'll need to fill out an application and then turn that into your pharmacist to get the more affordable EpiPens.
A company in Denver is working to change the way our shoes are designed so that they fit better and they help athletes perform better. And they're also looking at the skiing industry. This has a lot to do with High Performance Lab downtown. Teams at the BOA Fit headquarters are working in a precision fit laboratory created to change the design of the shoes we wear. They use state-of-the-art technology to look at how replacing laces with dials can help a shoe fit better. These dials were first seen on snowboard boots, but they've moved to ski boots, cycling shoes, golf shoes, and trail running shoes. After 2,000 tests, BOA released a study showing how much these dials can improve a trail runner's performance.
How quickly someone changes direction, which is really important if you think about going down switchbacks. People can actually change direction more quickly, more efficiently, and that's where 5 to 9% comes from. When we look at heel hold, which most trail runners really want good heel hold, we can actually significantly improve a trail runner's heel hold by 2%. And their ankle stability when they're running is up to 5% better. And then lastly, probably the most exciting thing for us, we took trail runners out onto a trail loop near Morris in Colorado, near Red Rocks. And we saw that runners were actually 1% faster in a better fitting product powered by the BOA Fit system.
We need to get faster. We're not going to, but the company did just put their best foot forward at the Leadville 100. The guy who won this year was wearing those trail shoes that have the BOA dial, and the dial will make a big launch into the ski boots this winter. So take him as a cue.
Yeah, if they'd make one for loafing.
That's what I need.
For hanging out on the couch. So it is the day after cutdown day, and in the NFL, they may as well call it practice squad day because all 32 teams spent the day building those initial 16-man squads, signing many players that had been released just the day prior. Our Broncos insider Mike Kliss has confirmed at least 12 players so far added to the Broncos practice squad. Notable among them, quarterback Ben DiNucci. He'll be the team's number 3 quarterback, and also sign 2 wide receivers from other teams. Philip Dorsett, a former first-round pick who actually won a Super Bowl with New England, and David Sills, who spent the last 3 years with the New York Giants. He was a college quarterback. They've also kept D tackles like veteran Tyler Lancaster, international player Haggai Ndubuisi, and running back Tyler Beatty also on the squad as well. He had been overtaken, of course, in camp by the undrafted rookie, the star of camp, basically, Jaleel McLaughlin.